guys, the weather today is super cold because it's winter. No wonder why I have to wear a hoodie and have my hat on, because I do feel quite cold when I don't have a hat. So it's really great invention when there's a hoodie and have a hat on. Yeah, the weather today is super cold. And because it's so cold, I just think of some video to do so that I don't have to think of the cold weather anymore. So last time we did the part 1 about pairs of confusing words, and in the part 1 there are 10 pairs of confusing words, and now we will move on to part 2. Yes, today is the part 2, and in part 2 will be another 10 pairs of confusing words. Hooray! So are you ready to learn? I'm ready to find out what are those pairs of confusing words. So I hope you find it very helpful in the part 1. And if you want to learn more, go find out in the part number 2. But if you still haven't watched the part 1, go watch the part 1 again and watch the part 2, because it is part 2. It's gonna be brilliant. Well, let's get started. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so also do some printing. Yeah, I've searched on the internet and I print this whole thing for making this video. Okay, so let's look at our first pair, of course. This is the 11th pair because last time we did 10th pair and now it's the 11th pair. Okay, so the 11th pair we got chose and choose. Why do I pronounce this Z? Because you can look at the pronunciation. The pronunciation has chose. You see, it is Z. It is not S. So, chose, chose. And the next word, it is choose. So why do we get these words confused? Because of 2 O and 1 O. And it chose. It is the past tense of choose. So a lot of people mix up this, even though they know the right grammar, but they just write it just differently because of chose. The chose is the past tense of choose. And remember, chose only have 1 O, but choose have 2 O. Remember that. So here's how we identify it. The past tense, 1 O, and the present tense, just 2 O. So chose and choose, like you choose something. I choose this red shirt because red is my favorite color. Okay, on to our 12th pair. In this 12th pair we got quite and quiet. So the reason we mix this up is because ET and TE. So first we got quiet. In the word quiet, okay, I've got this pen to point. In the word quiet, the reason we pronounce quiet because we have ET, so it, quiet. Quiet means just quiet. Around here it's very quiet. It's just me talking, very quiet in here. So quiet. And next we got the word quite. Quite is like nearly there. Yeah, it's quite right. It's nearly right. It's not all right, but it's quite right. So quite. And remember the word quite is TE. Yeah, quite. But the word quiet is ET. So that's why we mix this word all up. But remember, here's one trick so that you will never mix it up. Quiet. The reason we pronounce it is because ET. ET, ut. But for the word quite, it is TE. So we do mix up the T and E, yeah. Quiet and quite. On to our 13th pair. Alright, here is our 13th pair. So, lose and lose. So here's how we pronounce this. The first word, which is lose. Remember, because in here we have the Z, so lose. It is not S. Lose, lose, just like the B sound. Z, yeah, lose. And the meaning of the lose is you lose something. Oh, I lose this pen and now I found it. Lose. And the next word is loose. Loose. This one's quite different because we pronounce it the S. The pronunciation is S. It is not Z, so loose. Loose. Oh, this color is very loose. It is not tight, but it's very loose. Yeah, so loose. You understood now? So the first word is lose. Remember, lose with one O and pronounced Z is when you lost something. And the second word, loose, is pronounced S in the pronunciation. And when you, for example, I give an example for you. This collar is very loose. It is not tight, it's very loose. So loose is the opposite to tight. Alright, on to our 14th pair. Here is our 14th pair. What do we have here? Explode and explore. Well, for explode and explore, we just mix up the D and R. For the word explode, explode means something explode. Yeah, you see here, it explode out. And explore simply means you want to search for something. You want to explore something. Oh, I really want to find out about that cave. I really want to explore that cave. So, two meaning different and the pronunciation different too. It is just really quite the same. The D and R. Explode and explore. Alright, remember that. On to our 15th pair. 15th pair is experience and experiment. Remember. So the first is experience. I have 20 years experience of marketing. I mean, I've been doing marketing for a long time. 20 years. I have 20 years experience of marketing. So experience, remember. And experiment. Experiment, it's when you do like a science experiment, like chemistry experiment. So it's quite different. Experience, you have experienced something before, you know that before, and now you're doing it again. And experiment is just kind of like an experiment in science. Yeah, quite different. Next, we've got bear and bear. Actually, these two words pronounce exactly the same. Bear, bear. But the meaning is different and the writing is different. The first bear, B-A-R-E, is nothing there. There's barely any rice in there. That means no rice in that bowl. There's barely any rice in that bowl. Yeah, in that bowl, there's no rice. So, bear. But the second bear, which is B-E-A-R, has two meanings. For a noun, it means an animal. And for a verb, it means you are bare under something. Yeah, like this meaning over here. So, bear and bear. The pronunciation is the same, but the writing and the meaning is different. Alright, on to our 15th pair. Here is our 15th pair. Communication and communications. So the difference between these two words is the first communication has no S, but the second communication has an S. So why is it so different? Well, the first communication that don't have an S means that you communicate with someone. Oh, I have a really good communication with Jenny. That means you communicate with Jenny. And a second communication that has an S means you are on the TV, you are on a report on the internet. So those are the difference. Just an S and no S is totally different in one word. See how powerful an S is. So communication and communications. Yeah. So the first communication is you communicate with someone. And the second communications, which have an S, means you are on TV, a report, etc. Move on to our 18th pair. Here is our 18th pair, which is continuous and continual. So it's a little similar, but it's just a little bit different from the last syllable. So first, we have continuous. Continuous. Do you know about the present continuous tense? For example, I am doing a video. I am writing a book. That is present continuous. So I think all you guys know present continuous, right? And on to the next, we have continual. It's you just keep going, continue doing something, just keep going, doing something. Continual and continuous. Move on, we have, our 19th pair. Here, 19th. especially and especially. The first word we have the es, especially, and the second which don't have es, just specially. So the especially is like special in something. Oh, this cake especially have cheese in it. That means the other don't have cheese, but this cake has cheese. So especially very, very special. And then especially is like a kind of point. Yeah, you see the meaning in here? I think you already read it and you know the meaning. So especially and especially difference. Alright, and here is our 20th pair, the last pair of today's video. Advise, advice. So, here's the difference. The first, advise, which have the S here, advise, pronounced Z in the last one. Advise. And the second, which have the C right here, advice, just the S. The first one is Z, the second one is S. Advise and advice. So the first one, advise, it is a verb. And the second one is a noun. So it's just quite similar, but it's different. Okay, advice is a verb, you advise someone. And advice, which is a noun, it is a sentence that you advise to other people. Yeah, look at it. Verb and a noun. It is related to each other, but just different in the verb and noun. Alright, so we have done today's video. Yes, we have finished part 2 of this. So I hope you liked today's video. Maybe there will be a part 3, maybe not. But we'll find out soon. Bye guys, thanks for watching the part 2. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, when I did this video, I didn't feel like the cold anymore. It's actually quite hot in here, right? Bye!